Your friend's mother asks you to watch your two sons for the weekend. She then gets into a car accident where one of your children is pronounced dead. No broken bones, no internal bleeding. In fact, an autopsy ruled the death undetermined. You're later told that one of your sons smothered the other son while asleep. But why was the car accident a mile in the opposite direction of the hospital? Why weren't the police called? You then tell your child's father what happened. He then murders the daughter of the babysitter. A child for a child. Trappin Anonymous.
I can't tell you how I feel. My oldest son came in saying that if it was left up to me, I would paint the whole city red.
What's good? My name is Chris Dowes. This is Trappin Anonymous. Welcome back. Welcome back. Shout out to everybody that's helped keeping the movement moving. I just appreciate all of you. And, words don't express the kind of work that we're doing in these communities and just people's testimonies just getting out there. I think we all know by now how important it is. And I'm just grateful to be in this position. I'm grateful for this platform to be so entrusted. And let's just keep doing it. Do remember that the stories that you hear reflect real life. They're here to inform, educate, and just keep your little homie off the streets. I'm Chris Styles, Trappin Anonymous. Let's get it. How are you?
I'm doing good, and you?
I'm good. So I'd like to start every episode with your name and why your story is important.
My name is Destiny, and my story is important because it's somebody that's really important to me, which is my son, and I want to make awareness to other young moms.
Other young moms. Okay. So take us to the day, or maybe even the day before you leave your son with a childhood friend's mother.
So it was July 30th of 2021. It was just a regular day. Typical, drop the kids off to babysitter, something like a aunt figure, you should say, and dropped the kids off. Everything was fine. Next morning, I got a phone call stating that my youngest son was at the children's hospital, unalive, deceased.
What goes through your mind?
A lot. I act like I'm okay. I walk around like I'm okay, but deep down, I'm broke. Like, I can't, a lot of people ask me, like, how you do it? I can't tell them how I do it. It's like a day-to-day thing. And because I have an older son, I think that's who keeps me focused.
How did you get the call?
The lady's daughter actually called me. And when she called, she just was like, all right, so when she called, I actually wasn't familiar with the number. So I did my research with the number, and when I finally realized that I didn't know the number, I answered. And she just was like, where you at, where you at, where you at? So it threw me off for a loop. Like, I actually thought that girls was trying to set me up or something like that. Like, it never went through my body that my kids is in harm or something happened to my child. So I'm just like filling her out. She never told me who she was. She hit me with the question like, you spoke to my mom? So I instantly knew that something was wrong because why would you ask me to speak to your mom and she has my kids? So I'm like, no. Like, what's going on? What's going on? She like, oh, well, you need to be waking your way to chop. Just like that, like cold-hearted, like that. So I'm like, what's wrong? What's wrong? Like, which one? She like, she had both of them. I said, yeah. She said, let me call you right back. Hung up. So when she hung up, I called a mutual friend of ours just to like see what's going on because she didn't really give me too much information.
And on your way to CHOP, meaning what's CHOP?
Children's Hospital, Philadelphia.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So I called a mutual friend. She didn't answer. So I reached out to the mom. The mom didn't answer. Now at this point, the daughter is calling back. When the daughter called back, she says that my son is at the Children's Philadelphia Hospital, deceased, and that my oldest son rolled over him. I instantly lost it. Like, lost it. I'm called my grandma, trying to see where she's at. She was downtown, so she was able to get there before me. I made my way to the hospital. When I finally got to the hospital, the daughter actually was there already, and my grandma, they was in the back. I informed them, like, I got a call saying that my son is here. And
Take your time.
when I got the phone call, when I told them that, they took me to the back. When they took me to the back, I watched too much stuff. Like, I just know too much, you know? So I knew that something wasn't right. And then I seen my grandma walking towards me, and the look on her face just gave me a signal. Like, and I just broke down, crying, just wrecked. So they telling me I gotta get myself together. If I can't get myself together, then they won't let me in the room to see my son. So I finally get up, get myself together. They bring me in the room. I lose it again. They be like, you gotta pull it together, or we're gonna like not kick me out, but you're gonna have to leave. So I pull it together. And then they let me spend time with my son. I examine him because, like I said, I dropped him off Friday. Saturday morning, this all unfolded. Well, that's when I got the news. I didn't see nothing on my son. I didn't see no burnt marks, no bruises, nothing. That would have gave me like maybe he would have fell, or, because at this point I still don't know what actually happened. So I spend time as I can, and then after that, they bring me to the special victim unit. When I get there, this is when I run into the babysitter. I ask her, try to ask her, like, what happened? Why you ain't call me? Like, why do I gotta find out through your daughter? Understand? It was just all fake. Trying to cry, trying to explain. It was just like my ears just like blocked her off. Because I really can't even tell you what she was saying to me. Like, I really don't know. And I just walked away because I didn't have nothing to say at the moment. Like, I didn't know what to say, I was seated in the building. That's when I see my oldest son, because he was there. And I did the interview with the detectives. And after that, they're going to update me, keep me updated. I never got brought back in for another interview. Any communication moving forward was all through email. And it was just like, oh, they went out to the house. They get a search warrant. They went out to the house. They took pictures. They didn't find no foul play. And then some random guy reaches out to me. Well, it wasn't even me. It was my cousin. It's actually my baby father's little cousin. He reaches out to her like, hey, I'm the guy that was trying to help save your baby on 33rd Street. So, around 2021, it was a lot of cases going on with kids. So we was like confused. Like, what do you mean was trying to help? Because we thinking the baby was picked up from the house. Well, at least to my knowledge, that's what I was thinking. So I call him. And when I call him, he basically was saying like a car accident took place. Now, this lady lives she doesn't live there, but where she was at was on 58th and Girard. And the accident happened on 33rd and Girard. Now, that's 20 plus blocks in Philadelphia. No ambulance was never called to the home. No records was shown. So she actually moved my deceased son and, put him in a car with my oldest son, no car seat, and drove. Nobody knows where she was driving to. She said she was going to bring them to the hospital. But in West Philadelphia, there are 4 hospitals, and 2 out of them 4 hospitals are children's hospitals. So I'm just confused on why wouldn't you go to a local hospital that's within radius before you drive 20 plus blocks and then end up getting into a car accident. And basically, on the grade for these people that she got into a car accident with is why my son got medical attention. Nobody knows where she was going to go. What her intentions was, nothing.
You told me that there was a river in the direction that she was headed.
There's water all surrounded right there. If you ask me, I feel like a possibility that my baby was going to be dumped. Rigor mortis already has set in. And for those that don't know, my baby was already deceased hours prior to her getting into this car accident. 3 years later, I still haven't talked to this lady. I still don't know the real story of what really happened with my son. The autopsy came back undetermined. They took x-rays, no broken bones, no drugs in the system. I just want answers on what really happened. They tried to say that my oldest son is the reason, right? Nobody can pay me nothing in this world to make me believe that. And I say this because around that time I was homeless. Staying in hotels, little couches, little beds with both my kids. I never woke up in the middle of the night to where as though, like you may wake up, arm might be here or a leg or whatever. I got to change the sleeping position. This is not going, nothing. So you telling me that never happened on my case, but you get up happens on your case? It don't make no sense.
She was asking to watch your kids.
She asked for him.
What was those conversations like?
At the time, I was blinded to her, and not so much to her, but to her daughter's activity. And this is why I say this, because she had a son of her own, right? And she barely was able to, I wouldn't say barely to have him or wasn't stable to have him, but she didn't have him. When young parents, we're not really ready to be moms. So maybe a girlfriend might be or aunt might be there to support us. They might be there and step up. So that's what she had. She had to support somebody to take her son. But there'll be times when she didn't have her son, but she would want my son. That don't make sense to me. How you don't got patience for your own, but you want somebody else's?
And you're saying, thinking back, that should have been a red flag for you.
And I'm saying that's when my first son, then when my second son was born, we wasn't really kind of speaking.
Really?
And she came to the hospital. As this being my friend, I didn't deny, she can't come up. You feel what I'm saying? I still allowed her to come. She cut the umbilical cord, everything. But now that I'm looking back, my friend, that's too close. That's too, you understand what I'm saying?
And this is the woman that's like an aunt to you?
This is her daughter.
Her daughter?
Her daughter. Not to be funny now, but the movie Carleo, right? If I'm saying it right. When the lady had the baby and they stole the baby out the emergency room. Before the lady that stole her baby, she was having a whole conversation with her in the emergency room, in the ER, waiting room, all that. Lady dressed up and stole this lady baby. And it just give me that. obsessed a little bit, I
Right.
should say.
Right. And you're young at the time. How do you manage 2 kids? And how old were you?
19.
19 years old. Homeless. How in the world are you even managing?
Around that time, money was flowing. Unemployment, shit was going on. So I was getting that. I was working. And that's basically how I was getting by.
But your mental health, right? Just the time, just kids are.
I guess smoking weed and just putting it to the back burner.
It's honest.
Like, because I'm trying to survive. I don't got time right now to worry about or deal with what I'm going through. You understand? Like, I know I'm going through it. I know what's going on.
And where's your mom and dad?
My dad is deceased. My mom is back in Massachusetts. Me and my mom talk. We got a good bond. But it's definitely child trauma from that too.
What happened?
My mom was running the streets, so my dad raised me. Ever since I was 2 weeks old, my dad did the best that he can do. In 2013, my dad ended up passing away from organ failure. So I basically like kind of raised myself ever since then, because now I'm 22, about to be 23. I stayed in Boston for a little time, but then 2014 came around, and then I ended up moving to Philadelphia with his family, his sister, actually, my aunt.
And his family took you in, your child's father's family.
No, this is my dad's.
Your dad's family took you in.
Right.
And what was life like there?
It was like, I don't know the words to kind of explain it. Like, I knew these people. I used to come visit them 2 weeks every summer, but I was young. I'm talking about 4, 5, 6. You know, I'm a baby. Like, so when my dad passed away, my fear just was I didn't want to be go to the state, as they called them, work kids or whatever. You feel what I'm saying? I didn't want to go to the state, so I ended up reaching out to my family out here, and they came. Well, you know, out Philadelphia, and they came and got me.
Okay.
So that's how I ended up with them. When I moved with them, it was just trouble because I feel like I was dealing with somebody that didn't know me. That thought they knew me. Because at the time, like I said, I'm a child. So the conversations you had is with my dad. I'm fighting, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But that's because I'm a kid suffering from trauma. Like, mom getting high. I'm a project baby. My dad doing the best he can do as a single parent, trying to raise me. You feel me? So, like, instead of getting to know me, I feel like they dealt with me on what they thought they knew.
Right. Okay. So, what do you think happened to your son? They said his brother, your other child, rolled over and suffocated him. What do you believe happened?
No, I don't think that my son is responsible. I don't think that the babysitter is responsible. But I do think that she know who did it.
Do you think you know who did it? Who?
Her boyfriend.
Maybe he rolled over in his sleep.
Have it said God, you know, sleep acne, whatever they call it, anything. Could have, you know, been too deep in the sleep. Kids all sleeping in the bed with them, rolled over, and don't even know that you were suffocating the baby until it was too late. She woke up and
I can't even imagine who wouldn't call the police first. Who wouldn't dial 911? Instead, You jump in the car, you drive 20 blocks in the opposite direction, and God makes you get into an accident. And let's be real, your nerves are probably going so crazy for what you just did and what you're about to do, you can't even drive straight.
So as I say, it's a difference when you panic for fear and then panic for a cover up. I feel like it was panic and a cover up. Because I know if something happened in my care and I don't know what happened, I'm getting help. If I don't got no phone, whatever the case may be, I'm going next door. Anybody. You talking about in the middle of the city. We not in the fucking countries where it's fields.
Right.
If you had to walk to the end of the block and scream, help, 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 I need help.
That's what you do.
That's what you do, right? But you didn't do that. You moved this baby. I feel like whatever it was, you was covering it up.
What did the father think?
Didn't really show no emotions.
How did you tell him?
At the time, he was incarcerated. And in the hole. So it's a process with that. Like, you gotta, call higher ups and this and that. So I did that, and he ended up calling home, and I had to inform him that, I lost my son, our son. I can say that's really hard. Really hard. I can just imagine, like, what he probably felt. He never told me how he felt. And I think just because, men really self-offish, they don't really, So, yeah.
He comes home. And then what?
He comes home, and he was home on house arrest. Things was fine. Got let off house arrest. Just like that. Picked back up. On a case, because they say allegedly retaliation
Retaliation to who?
to the lady daughter.
The one that you were friends with? What happens to her?
They said somebody opted out and shot her.
And she died. What? What?
Yeah. It was a lot when it happened.
What was your initial reaction to the news?
When I got the phone call, it was more so like, protect you and yours. Because I was raised in the streets. I know how the streets get. So everybody knew what was going on, And now, allegedly, they trying to say that he did this. So I was just thinking like, oh, now her folks might try to come retaliate. So now I gotta protect me and my son. So I just fell back for a little bit.
Do you think he did it?
No.
Okay. And how much time is he facing for the murder of the daughter of the person who essentially murdered your son?
We talking like 15, 30 years, maybe more.
And how does that make you feel?
A loss. Why? Because I always say I lost all my boys. And I say that because it started with my dad first. My brother got killed 2019. Son got killed 2021. My baby dad going in a cage for the rest of his life. I mean, I got a boy left, the one that I'm raising.
I know you said it in the beginning, like everybody asks you, like how do you just continue on? And I don't even understand, even with all you've been through prior to this, to now dealing with this. I mean, you must feel like there's a target on your head in your own city.
Possibility.
Does this worry you at all?
Sometimes. But it just makes me move a certain way. I'm not broadcasting like, oh, I'm a target, or I want to be a target, but, you know, things happen because consequences, and I don't know what people's intentions are because I, yet still, like I said, haven't seen these people in 3 years.
Did a part of you feel like the score was even when she lost her daughter?
I thought a kid for a kid. They say she innocent. And mine was innocent too.
Could you ever bring yourself to a place to forgive?
I don't forget. I think it's not numbed. Our brain is operated to propose certain stuff so we won't deal with it. And I think that's what it is. But that's why I'm here today, because I'm ready to deal with it.
Forgiveness.
Yeah. Like, I feel like I would have been forgave her if she would have just talked to me. I don't know. I mean, I tried to put myself in her shoes to understand why she haven't talked to me yet. But I still don't understand.
What is it like for what is it like for a mother to grieve the loss of a child?
Definitely run deep. I can't tell you how I feel. My oldest son came in saying that if it was left up to me, I would paint the whole city red. But that's not going to get my son back. You feel me? That's just going to make other families and other people feel how I feel. I just need closure. It's a different from grief and closure. I will always grieve my son. Always 20 years, 30 years from now. I could never figure how could I? Carrying him from 9 months. I had him. I will never forget him. But I want closure on what happened. I feel like I need to know what happened to my son. But I do think that I don't deserve not to know what happened to my son.
What is his name?
Kaiser.
Kazir. What did the police say? Why wouldn't they make an arrest? Why did they think that she's innocent? What?
If you ask me, it's just like another statistic. Cold case. We're black. Don't mean shit though. Because it's a lot of red flags. A lot of red flags in the case. And the story stuff that she admitted to, that I felt like, it's not even felt like, I know that you can be charged.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, it was no accountability, even if she wasn't charged on murder. Because I have dealt with homicide. That's what a lot of people don't know. I actually went to homicide unit. They reached out to me, questioning about my son. And I questioned them, but like they stood me off a little bit. Like, oh, to protect the case, we can't, we just doing investigations. But my question is, if my son wasn't murdered or homicide, why I'm dealing with y'all?
Exactly. A lot of young mothers growing up in the neighborhoods that we grew up in deal with the loss of a child. If there's any advice that you could give to them, or if there's anything that you could tell them, what would it be about this process?
Just be really, really careful about who you trust. Please pay attention to the signs. Stop putting it off. Oh, I've been around them for such and such time. I don't think, or, oh, I've been dealing with them. They wouldn't do this. They wouldn't do that. Them signs mean a lot. If your gut, your soul telling you, pay attention to it.
You have any regrets?
Sometimes I say yes and sometimes I say no. No, because like I said, I don't feel like she did something, but I feel like she never did. And then yes, because that day, it was something holding me back. And I wish I would have paid attention to it.
Something you would tell your younger self?
I don't know.
My name is Chris Styles. This is Trappin Anonymous. Let's get it. We're done. Thank you so much.